What's up? What's up? Straight to the point. Sports and entertainment. Y'all make sure to hit that like button and sub to the channel too. Share this video. And also hit them notifications too as well, okay? Alright, man. Let's go ahead and unpack all this, right? And I want to let all of y'all know I've been going through some things with the channel, so I need y'all to bear with me for a little bit, okay? It's not going to be like this for long, but doing some things to the channel, and things gonna get a little better right now. I had to kind of fix some things, but in the process of making things a lot better, okay? So y'all gotta excuse the camera, and sometimes you'll see, you know, like a black screen and stuff like that, but I'm getting some things worked on right now, okay? So just bear with me. But let's go ahead and get into this NBA fiasco. Now, we got to ask ourselves a question, several questions, okay? I'm not a prisoner of the moment, okay? I said that last night. I'm not a prisoner of the moment. But I mean, we gotta really address some things, okay? Now, last night, we know that the Lakers defeated Boston. And for Lakers fans, that was huge. For some of the LeBron fans, I know that wasn't very liked. Okay, and some of the superstars, they have to sit down and they have to really look at what's going on in order to see what the true problem is, okay? I'll give you an example, right? With Michael Jordan, okay, there was a series, I think, when he was struggling against the Miami Heat one time. Might have been Miami. There's been a few series where he struggled, but the series where he struggled, I don't think it wasn't Miami. I think it might have been New York. I know he struggled against Seattle. But sometimes, you know, the coach will sit you down in order to see truly where you're messing up and how you can see the game from afar. And when you get injured too, because I know when, you know, of course MJ wasn't hurt much. He wasn't hurt. He only got hurt one time. But whenever he got his opportunity to sit down on the bench, he was able to study and really look at the game from the outside looking in, okay? And to see, okay, how is the team able to mesh if I'm not out there, if I'm not available, right? Well, that also took place with Kobe too. Kobe, I think he broke his foot one year, and he even came out and he said that he had to really look at how the team was doing without him in order to see if maybe there were some things that he could do on his end to become a better team player. With LeBron, okay, I'm not really talking about AD, because even though AD has been hooping and he's been balling and everything up until, he sat out, LeBron is still seen as that main guy, okay? LeBron is no longer 29, 25. He's not youthful in terms of basketball anymore, okay? And when you have guys out there who are still young and still in their primes and still have that mobility and that speed to keep up with the young horses, they're actually more beneficial than having an older player out there. Okay, a lot of people, they call LeBron a dinosaur, they call him old and stuff like that. I mean, in basketball years, he is. Okay, now maybe to the average person and to somebody like a casual that's looking, at the game and stuff like that, they'll look at LeBron as still LeBron when he was playing with Miami or the Cavs. But true basketball fans and people that have played the game, that have been out there, they understand that, LeBron can't quite do some of the things that he used to do. So in order to benefit, okay, and I'll get to what I'm talking about in a minute when it comes to our Darvin Ham, because we're gonna talk about that too. We're gonna address that. What LeBron is going to have to do is really take a scale back, even if it means at times, coming off the ball, not handling the rock so much. Because the last time I checked, he said that he was going to work on not being on the ball as much. He said he was going to come off the ball, more. I know that one year when he played point guard, he actually did it. He did a decent job, but the thing about it is you're gonna wear yourself down by the time the postseason comes, which is what Joel Embiid is experiencing right now. And it's a matter of finishing the season, and then going into the postseason so that you can be healthy. Look, he hasn't had a ton of injuries, okay? LeBron has. He just started having little knick-knack injuries here and there. He doesn't have nowhere near the injury history that AD has, okay? But at the same time, age does play in a factor, because you got to think about the mileage that this dude has put on his body. Pretty much the majority of his years, besides, a couple years, he has went deep into the postseason and went into the final. That's a lot of mileage, and that's why you see a lot of these players right now going through what they're going through, like the Klay Thompsons, like the Draymond Greens, and Steph Curry here and there, and the Warriors and stuff. And then you got to talk about this too. A lot of people that were playing with LeBron, they're not playing anymore. They pretty much have retired, because they have an understanding that, hey, my body can't quite do what it used to do. Now, I understand, like, when it comes to D Wade, he played a more it was a style of basketball that for most players would shorten your career, because he took quite of a beating with the style that he played. Even though he was hella athletic, but it caught up to him, all that falling on the ground, all those injuries, being undercut, stuff like that, man. That takes a toll on your body, and that wood don't give. Just like she say, the ball don't lie, that wood don't give. It means that it don't give a shit about you. That's what it means. But now, I know it's gonna sound crazy to some of y'all, who are fanatics. They're not fans, they're fanatics of LeBron. If I say, okay, yeah, should you just go ahead and trade that dude? Hey, that's what some people are thinking. That's what some people are waiting for, especially diehard Lakers fans, right? But at the same token, Darvin Ham, he's not an idiot, man, and he's not stupid by any means. Okay, is he the best? Is he the best type of coach when it comes to, his rotations, some of his rotations and his adjustments and his plays and stuff? No, he's not. But last night can be something that they can build on, okay? Like I told you, I'm not no prisoner of the moment, but last night, if they just imagine if the Lakers played like that every single night, which I'm not going to say it's impossible, but I mean the effort was there. And look, I got to talk about Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves can hoop, man, when given the opportunity. Now, I did say something to one of the subs. I said that Austin Reeves and D'Lo, they didn't mesh well together. Well, hey, last night I was wrong. Okay, because they seemed like their chemistry was on. And also, Jackson Hayes, okay? I've watched Jackson Hayes. I watched him when he came out of Texas. I knew that he was gonna be something. Jackson Hayes is vicious inside. If you look at this guy, because I think he had it was like 11 or 12 rebounds last night. Jackson Hayes is that guy. He's a slept on rebounder and a slept on defender. He didn't really get that much time when he was in New Orleans like that, and I think he had some issues with the law and all that stuff or whatever. But since he's came to LA, I've always watched this kid, and I've always watched him when he was in Texas. I knew when he was coming out of Texas, this guy was going to be something. So they need to start looking towards the future. That's what LA needs to do. That's what they need to do. That's the bottom line. Because if they stick with this, they stick with Darvin Ham. You don't have the drama and the circus show that I was talking about. With LeBron and we got to worry about this guy and all that stuff. Actually, that takes a lot of the monkey off of your back if you really think about it. Because it's like, oh yeah, I'm having to appease this dude. It's just like what I talked about yesterday about going to work and working like you're on eggshells, or it's like when you're in a relationship with someone and you're so afraid, you uncomfortable. It's like you're on eggshells with everything you do. Well, that's the same thing when it comes to LeBron. unfortunately, LeBron and AD, because now you got to throw AD in there. We got to wonder if AD is really hurt, because last time I checked, AD is putting up a good stat line, and I wanted him to play the amount of games that he said he was going to play. You know, I was actually pushing for him. I put in the community post, I gave him a shout out for coming back against the Warriors. But then you want to go ahead and you want to try to do a plan that potentially backfired. Now, they come back, right? You know, they go on a losing streak and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Darvin Ham, to me, he saved his job, okay? I mean, he saved his job. And all of the bullshit that he's been having to put up with, you got to give your credit to Darvin Ham. And then I said, if you were going to go ahead and get rid of Darvin Ham, then Darvin Ham should just go ahead and go and get in a situation that's better. I know he's been in the NBA family and part of the fraternity for a very long time, both as a player and as well as an assistant. So I know he knows the ropes. But I know that, you know, he once played for LA. So I think he knows what comes with it. But I know he said, I didn't think that this was going to be a circus show like this. And now it's just something that he's going to have to will and deal with. But beating Boston was huge for the Lakers. Okay, it was huge for the Lakers, especially when you don't have their, you know, your main players. And then also, we also got to look at it from this standpoint too. You know, players do prep for the regular lineup, so that also plays a factor. I mean, it might have thrown Boston off a bit. You know, that's why I'm not going to get into being too big of a prisoner of the moment, but it was still huge nonetheless, you know, and it shows what they were capable of. I also want to give a shout out to D'Lo once again, because D'Lo, he really showed his scoring nevertheless, but he showed really good playmaking, getting guys involved. I think he had 14 assists. You know, I've always saw potential in D'Lo. Like I said, it was just the off-the-court mental side of things that was always getting to this dude. But we'll see what happens next. I mean, we got to see what they're capable of and what they're made of next. Now, could they go on a run? They're at 500. They're at 500. And see, somebody is going to have to. I mean, it's going to be hard to do this unless it's his wife. I'm talking about LeBron. Somebody is going to have to get in this dude's ear and just tell LeBron, look, you're part of the problem, you know. But how can you tell a billionaire, something like that, somebody that's got control and keys to pretty much, you know, the NBA and stuff, able to get guys traded and able to do this and do that or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's highly unlikely that you're going to be able to have him listen and say, you know what, okay, I'll do that and sacrifice. Believe it or not, Jordan was able to do it. Believe it or not, Kobe was able to do it. Even Kareem, you know, because there was when Kareem didn't like the idea of bringing you know, Showtime and speeding up the offense for the Lakers. Okay, they showed that in docuseries. But eventually he was able to adapt to it. You know, Cap was able to adapt to it. So those are my thoughts on it. I'll be back with y'all in a little bit. I just wanted to talk about more in depth about the NBA and everything. And y'all tell me what you think. Leave your comments. I'll get at y'all later.